accidentally discovered I am the invisible friend everyone talks about when I am not there. It completely changed how I see myself. You know you are the reason we're all still friends, right? I stared at my phone screen, confused by the text from Olivia. It was 2 a.m. and she was clearly drunk after a night out. A night I'd skipped because of an early morning shift at the hospital where I work as a nurse. What are you talking about? I replied. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, then appeared again. Finally, crap, you me chat, ignore that. But I couldn't ignore it. Those words haunted me for days. I've always been the quiet one in our friend group, the reliable one who remembers birthdays and drives people home, but never the center of attention. I assumed I was just their offertide noise, the friend who could miss a gathering and barely be noticed. A week later, I was using Olivia's laptop to help her with a resume when a notification popped up from our group chat. I shouldn't have clicked it, but I did. It was a thread about planning my 30th birthday, still 6 months away. I scrolled up curious and found myself in a separate chat I'd never seen before, one that didn't include me. My heart sank. Of course they had a group without me. I always suspected I was more of an obligation than a true friend. But as I read through the messages, my hands started shaking. Remember when Ellie sat with me in the ER for 8 hours? When my dad had that heart scare? She had work the next day but refused to leave. She's the only one who remembered I am allergic to almonds and made sure that cake at the company party was safe for me. When my boyfriend dumped me and I was too embarrassed to tell anyone, she somehow knew and showed up with ice cream and didn't even make me talk about it. There were dozens of messages like this, stories about things I'd done that I barely remembered, small kindnesses I never thought twice about. Things I did because, well, isn't that what friends do? The chat wasn't about excluding me, it was about me. They called it Ellie Bidation Society and used it to plan surprises for me, share stories about me, and apparently coordinate the biggest birthday celebration they'd ever planned. She thinks she's forgettable, Marcus had written. How do we make her understand she's the glue that holds us all together? I closed the laptop, tears streaming down my face. I'd spent years believing I was the friend people tolerated rather than cherished, the one who could disappear without leaving much of a hole. I'd accepted this role, convinced myself it was enough just to be included at all. But all this time, while I was quietly caring for everyone else, they were noticing, they were valuing, they were loving me back in ways I never realized. When Olivia came back, I confessed to seeing the chat. Instead of being angry, she hugged me and said, "Now maybe you'll finally believe us when we tell you how much you matter." That night changed everything about how I see myself, not because I needed external validation, but because it made me question the story I'd been telling myself for years, that I was somehow less important, less memorable, less loved than everyone around me. I still don't like being the center of attention. I still find joy in the quiet acts of care that others might not notice, but now I understand that being the invisible friend doesn't mean being unseen. Sometimes it means being seen so clearly, so completely, that others treasure the parts of yourself you never thought to value. And sometimes the most life-changing discoveries happen when we accidentally glimpse ourselves through the eyes of those who love us.